Welcome, all of you. Welcome once again, viewers all over the world. This is Bridget Nasimiu Wegulo. Today, I'm privileged to share with you my testimony. The Lord changed every trial and tests that came my way and changed them and gave me a testimony, a big, great testimony. So I'm born again. Jesus Christ is Lord. The joy of the Lord is my strength. This is Kenya, Africa, in Busia County, Nambale sub-county. I am a mother of 3 beautiful and handsome babies. I love the Lord so much. So my testimony begins like this. I lived some life before I got saved, before I was born again. So how was this life like? Before marriage, I was never saved. I didn't know the Lord. I never even knew whether salvation was existing. So I lived a normal life, like any other person, like anyone else who doesn't know the Lord. So when I got married, I stayed in marriage for 8 years without a baby. And it was not easy. It was not an easy life. There's no day I was comfortable. I lacked every piece. The enemy had taken every piece away from me. Marriage was not easy. Every time one gets married, you get married with expectations. And one of the expectations of marriage, like for my time and my spouse at that time, who is late now, was that we wanted to have babies of our own. And that goal or vision never came to pass easily. I remember visiting every herbalist in my region. Then it was Western Kenya. And witches. They would give me some whatever revelations closer to what is true and sometimes true ones, but they had no solution for their revelations, whether they were true or not. I remember taking every manner of concoctions, 5-liter concoctions, some concoctions green in color, some yellow, some orange, and full of every manner of smell. I would tell myself, let me take them because I want a baby. Sometimes you don't even know what has been mixed, but you are given to go and drink. So I took so many of them for quite some time. And sometimes I would take as my husband takes too, because sometimes we would visit someone with him in search of the fruit of the womb. It was never easy. It is a shoe I wore, and it's a very painful shoe. I will never forget one day when my father-in-law, I respect you, Daddy. I'm saying this in good faith. I remember one day when he took me to a witch in Uganda. Everything was horrible in search of a baby. When you reach to a level where your father-in-law is now concerned and is taking you to a witch, when you reach at a level where it is your father-in-law taking you to a witch to go and be set free so that you can give birth, that means we had stayed long. And we had that desire to get a baby. My husband and I. It was a daily topic. At least every day, we will talk about our inability to get a child. Sometimes I'll throw a ball to him like, could you be the one maybe? Things are not right. Could you be the one maybe who has the problem? Once in a while. But many times he will throw the ball back to me and say, I suspect you are the one. It is so unfortunate that you have never given birth earlier. And me too, I don't have a baby anywhere. So we don't know whom to blame. But let's press on. Let's believe that one day something good will happen and we shall get our victory. So we kept visiting. So we went on visiting these witches and herbalists. I remember one day I was unable to go to school and teach because I had taken so much concoction, a mixture of things that made me dizzy the whole night and morning. Things began, I don't know what they were, like dancing in my ears. When someone speaks, I could not hear what that person said. Some noise in my ears. Immediately, I began taking that concoction. I had taken like 3-4 glasses, and things began dancing in my ears. I just said, what? For how long am I going to be going through this? It was not easy. Remember, I am a teacher. I was a teacher then. So I was going to school. So the following day I was to go to school and teach. But things are dancing in my ears and just making some funny noise. I went to school, I could not hear what fellow teachers were saying. And same to class. It never happened once, twice or thrice. I leave this concoction and go to look for another one, another different one, which still didn't work. If it didn't give me a headache, things danced in my ears, or sometimes I would have some stomach ache. Until I was depressed. I didn't know what to do. I remember sometimes I would be in class as a high school teacher before students. And sometimes I would just go blank. Lack the information to enjoy them. Yet it is a lesson I prepared to go and teach. I'll just go blank in class because of depression. The school wants the mean score. I was absent yesterday and the other day because of too much concoction taking. So after 3 days, I have to go to school. So life was like that, full of issues. When I arrived in the house, my husband too is from school. He's equally tired. He's like, what can we do about our issue? I'm equally tired. And sometimes even eating was not easy. We never enjoyed food in my house. We never had any sweet discussion with my husband just because we wanted a baby. Childlessness is terrible. It is painful, my friends and brethren, to be rejected. Rejection is very, very painful. And it is even terrible to be rejected because of something that you cannot handle, that is beyond your ability to solve. It is horrible to be rejected because of something that you know nothing about and you cannot help yourself. One time in my marriage, I remember my in-laws wanted me out of the marriage because of childlessness. One thing they failed to understand was, by the time they were getting tired of me not being able to sire a child or have a baby, I was already tired for looking for one. I will not discuss everything, not even half of what I went through. In a nutshell, rejection is painful, but it has to come first. It has to land. It has to come on you. You have to be rejected first. Then favor will come your way. One day, I assure you. I love my father-in-law and my mother-in-law. They are still alive. I bless the Lord because of them. I have nothing at heart against them. They know that. But I'll mention a few things here, just to encourage someone somewhere.